guys, I'm back with another Mr. Nightmare video for you guys. This is called 3 Scary True Pizza Delivery Horror Stories, of course by Mr. Nightmare. And I feel like pizza delivery horror stories are just like the most, not iconic, what's the word I'm trying to, just like, it's just like, I feel like once I started I just saw pizza horror stories, like pizza horror stories, it's like it's like just doing that as a nightmare. Like it's like you're bound to get some kind of horror. I just feel like it's so popular, you know what I mean? Like it's just so, a lot of pizza delivery horror stories happen. I don't know, but I guess we'll see what happens. This is 11 minutes long. There's 3 scary true stories apparently, so I guess we'll see what happens. And yeah, without further ado, let's go. Augustine and Anonymous. The anonymous one is probably true because they don't want to put their name, so it's probably true.
I've been a pizza delivery guy for a decent amount of time, and I usually get stuck with a crappy shift of 4 p.m. to 4 a.m.
Ew.
I live in a pretty small city out in the boonies, so there's only like 1 murder per year in our area.
Boonies?
Well,
What is
last month
boonies?
there were 3 back-to-back murders, and we as drivers keep on that stuff.
Yeah.
But hey, we average out pretty good for just driving around the city all night, so it wasn't anything to get too worked up about. Anyway,
you never know who you're delivering to.
1 a.m. and there was only me, another driver, a cook, and our manager who's in his mid-20s, and he's really cool and understanding because he had been a driver in his teens. We were all finished with all the cleaning and stuff like that because it was an unusually slow night that night. And we finally got an order. I was the so-called lucky one to get to take this delivery down the dirt road in the middle of nowhere.
Joy.
I personally had never delivered to that area, but it was about 10 miles away from where I lived, so
10
I knew
miles.
there was only going to be about 5 houses on that lonely 4 miles of road. I put the pizzas in my car and started on my drive. I had just put in 2 12-inch subwoofers in the back of my 99 Honda Accord to complete my white trash look. But they weren't secured in there, and being an unkept dirt road, I was driving pretty slow. My GPS told me I had arrived, but it was about a mile off. So I turned down the subs and pulled up to what I believed to be the house.
You believe to be the
My
house.
boss has a thing about never pulling up in the driveway, no matter how much of a walk it is. And this was one of those times that I thought I'd actually do what he says. I grabbed the pizza and receipt and walked up to the door. It was a long driveway, and what sucked was they had the audacity to leave all the outside and inside lights off to the house.
That's so annoying.
Probably
It's
just
like
watching a movie, I thought to myself.
It's like, is this the right house
This
even?
unusual this time of night. I got up to the door and knocked. Nothing. Great, a 10-mile drive here for nothing. I knocked again.
That's
and
super
again.
annoying. It's like, what the
I
fuck?
started to get uncomfortable, and that's when I heard the quiet sound of someone or something walking. It was coming from around the side of the house that I couldn't see.
Like, why are you always so
I was getting a
like?
bit unnerved and decided this was a great time to start heading back to my car.
Just be in your
I
house
didn't
and
want to go back empty-handed though.
just get your damn
I
pizza.
got to the
Fuck.
safety of my car.
Maybe it's so
decided
creepy
to
and
ring up the
sus.
person and see if they were just asleep. I was probably just imagining the footsteps or mistaking them for the creaking of the old house.
No, it's real.
No answer. I decided to balls up and head over to the door one last time for one final knock. So I put my phone on flashlight mode and walked up to the door. One more knock, and nothing. This time I heard the footsteps again, and I turned my light and saw a man wearing some sort of werewolf mask.
Fuck.
I bolted to my car with
Oh
him
my
closely on my
God.
heels, but it was obvious that he wasn't the fastest man out there, and I easily made it to the car with time to spare.
Fuck.
I threw the pizza in the car and floored it, almost hitting the man with my car. I called the police, and it turned out that, while yes, this call had been made from inside their house, the actual residents were out of town.
No
It
shit.
was only a few days ago, and they haven't found the guy.
Was someone broke in
I
then?
included a picture of the house for all to see. I was parked by the red, and the yellow indicates where the guy was.
That's so creepy. That's such
I
a long
wonder
ass.
if this man was part of the murders in our quiet little town.
That's so creepy. That's
Whoever
such a
that
long
was,
stretch.
They probably weren't in it for the pizza.
He was probably the freaking murderer that was murdering the 3 back-to-back murders. Like, bruh. No, I would not fuck with that shit. Even being an Uber Eats driver.
On a lazy Friday night when I had the house to myself, I was chilling in the living room with the lights off, watching movie after movie.
That's the best way to spend
I had a craving
Fridays.
for pizza, so I ordered a pie from the local late-night pizza place.
Pizza and movies is always just fucking
It
great.
was a rainy
Pizza and
night,
movies.
part of the reason why I chose to just stay in and watch movies. Ironically, I was watching some scary movie at the moment, and at some point during that, I
And of
heard
course
loud
it's storming
steps on
outside.
the front stoop outside. I waited for a knock or the doorbell, but when I didn't hear either, I muted the TV out of curiosity. I then went to the front door and quietly lifted the slider above the peephole to look out at who could be on the porch. I was expecting to see the pizza guy, but at first all I thought I saw was black. It took me a few moments to realize I was looking back at someone's eye, pressed up on the other side of the peephole.
Oh, that's fucking creepy.
I basically
Like, who the fuck does that?
I called
Anyone
through the
home?
door asking if it was the pizza guy. A deep man's voice called back, "Yes, it is."
Yes, it
Something
is.
wasn't right.
Bitch, no,
Looked
it's
through
not.
the peephole again, and now it seemed like the man on the other side was covering it with his hand or something.
See?
I
Sus.
didn't know what to do, other than yell, "Why are you covering the peephole?"
Right? You sus
He didn't
bitch?
respond to that. Instead, he just knocked on the door.
No. Fuck
I
you.
yelled at him to please leave, and I walked away from the door back to the living room. A few moments later,
Damn, now I
doorbell
want
rang.
pizza.
I heard the same deep voice yell, "Pizza, open up."
Pizza, open
Once again, got up and went to check through the peephole, but he was still covering it. I shouted at him again to
I
please
feel like
leave
he
or I'd be
put
calling
tape
the
over it or
police.
something like that.
Now I turned off
He
the TV
totally
to allow
put
the
something
total
like put tape
darkness in the
over it. He
house.
totally
All I
did
could
that.
hear for a while was the sound of the pouring rain outside. When I went back to the front door to look through the peephole once again, now I was able to see through it. The man was no longer on the stoop. I called the pizza place and asked the guy who picked up the phone if he could check if the delivery driver had arrived to my house yet. I of course explained what was going on and why I was asking for that. He said he'd give the driver a call and then call me back, so I hung up and waited like 2 minutes. The guy called me back to tell me that the driver had not yet arrived to my house.
See?
He suggested that I call the police.
There it is.
He also said the driver would call me when he arrives. I
Good.
thanked him and hung up the phone. Next thing I remember is hearing knocks from the backyard door.
Oh my god.
I felt like this couldn't be happening.
Like, what do you
I actually
want?
felt sick.
Fuck.
I crept to the back door, which has a pull-down blind which covers the glass for privacy.
Like, I just want my fucking pizza and movies. Like, fuck off.
This next part I still don't understand. Even though I crept quietly to the back door, as soon as I got there, that same familiar voice said, "I see you there, open the door." Then he tried opening it himself, but thank God it was locked. Once again, I yelled on calling the cops if he didn't leave. By a luck of good timing, my phone began to ring, and it was the real pizza guy calling to
thank
say
God.
he was here. I told him to please come to the front door quickly. I opened the front door for him and let him in. He asked if I needed help, and I begged him to stay with me until the police would show up. And he did me that favor. Police showed up within 10 minutes.
Oh, are you allowed to just stay at some, like, go inside and stay at someone's house? That's kind of creepy.
There weren't any other disturbances from that man outside from the time the pizza guy got there to the time the police left. I went straight to sleep after that. I went so far as to pushing my dresser in front of my door, just as a desperate act of feeling safe.
Right?
Thank God that man left for good.
I would not want to go to bed after that. It's like, fuck, now what do I do? I can't go to bed now. You can't expect me to go to bed at this point. Fucking people are so creepy, man. I fucking can't.
It was a little past 9 p.m. on a Saturday 3 years ago.
It's always like Friday,
I was
Saturday nights at
delivering
like
pizzas for this
10,
pizza
11
place called
p.m.,
Gino's.
1 a.m., like,
It was my last delivery of the night.
of course.
My last delivery at that place ever, actually.
I
Not
wonder
because
why.
my shift was ending, but for reasons you're about to find out.
Yep.
I was supposed to deliver one regular pizza to this house around 10 minutes from the restaurant.
Okay.
I got there relatively quickly because I drive fast. It was a gated property, so I had to park on the street and walk through the gate up the decently long pathway to the front door.
Yeah, unless we rich, we're gonna have to go
I rang
fucking
the
gate
bell
and
and
shit.
waited. No one answered after a minute, so I rang it again. I knew the doorbell was working because I heard the ringing from outside. Finally, the lights in a room next to the front door turned on, so I naturally looked up to the window, and there were two people looking out the window at me. Extremely off-putting and
Did you want your
unnerving.
pizza or not, bitch?
As I looked back at them, the front door opened, and a man wearing some pig mask opened the door. I couldn't see his face,
Excuse
but
me?
he sounded very joyous for the arrival of the pizza. He apologized for their costumes and said they were having a role-playing party. He told me to come in for a second since it was cold and that he'd go fetch his wallet.
No, I'm good. I'll stay out
I
here.
stepped into the house and he shut the door behind me.
Why? Shut the
He
door.
disappeared into another room. I stepped forward a few feet to get a view into the adjacent room, and the two people I saw standing at the window moments before were gone. The man called me into another lit-up room nearby. I
No!
didn't feel too comfortable, to be completely honest.
What are you
The
doing?
whole mask thing was insanely weird, and the two creepy people watching me at the window. Still holding the pizza box, I walked to the other room. As As I passed the living room into the room next to it,
It was like a
I
killed.
was just speechless as to what I saw. There were 6 chairs covered in white sheets arranged in a circle. 4 of them were being sat on by other people wearing
Oh
bizarre
my
plastic
God.
animal masks.
Fuck.
The guy in the pig mask who opened the door said, "Come in, it'll just be a moment." I asked, "What are you guys role-playing exactly?" All 5 of them erupted into this creepy laughter, making me even more uncomfortable.
Fucking leave right now.
The man in the pig mask told me to sit in one of the empty chairs. I looked at him without saying a word. Then I saw someone else creepily entering the room, kind of half hiding behind a wall opposite me. He was wearing a frog mask. I said, "You can just have the pizza," as I started to back away.
Yeah, it's free.
There
Bye.
was no more laughter, no verbal response. 2 of the people in chairs got up and started moving towards me, so I did the only thing I could think to,
Run.
and I threw the pizza box as hard as I could at them into the room and ran for the front door.
Take your fucking
Then
pizza.
I sprinted to my car. Yes,
Fuck.
I was chased outside. One of them tried breaking my passenger side window as I hightailed it out of there.
What? Why?
Floored it down the street and went back to the pizzeria.
Call the cops right
I told
now.
my boss what happened, that I was basically robbed, if not about to be kidnapped or worse. He didn't even want to call the cops. And with that, I quit that job that night. Against my better judgment, I got another pizza delivery job a few months later.
That's smart.
Nothing even remotely close to something this strange ever happened again.
That's the thing. You never know who you're delivering to. Like even being an Uber Eats driver, any kind of food delivery, any kind of delivery at all. Like you're delivering something to somebody's house. Come inside. You can sit. No. No. Like why the hell do you want me to come inside? Are you stupid? Like what is wrong with you? I don't understand. Yeah, like I respect the delivery people a lot just because like you don't know what you're going into basically. And it's just yeah, I just can't, to be honest. I don't think I'll be able to. Like I do Uber Eats and stuff, but obviously I normally just get my food and that's it. I'm not gonna be freaking creepy like slicking in the window, like bitch. I don't want them to fucking run out with my food. I want my food. Like you know what I mean? Like why the hell would I prank them and want them to take my food back? Like no. I want my food, give me my food, that's it. Like I don't care to prank you and shit like that. Like I know people do that and stuff, but it's like seriously, like why do you not have a life? Prank people you know or something. Like don't prank poor innocent like delivery drivers. Like they're just trying to freaking make a living. They're just trying to make some money here, and then you're trying to freaking like fuck them up, like trying to kill them even. Like I don't understand people. Like to me, it's just like I don't know. You don't have a life or something. Like you just like you have all the time in the world to just create us. Send it to a random address, set it up, be inside a random house that's like abandoned or something, have like 3 creepy people watching in the window, have a whole bunch of freaking 6 people wearing masks. Like what is wrong with you? Like do you seriously got this much time on your hands? Like you gotta get a job or something. Like cause like I don't know, but I have respect for them because like you just never know what you're gonna walk into. But especially pizza delivery, I feel like Uber Eats is fine. I haven't really heard any Uber Eats stories. But like pizza, that's basically the same thing. Like you could deliver pizza too for Uber Eats, so it's like yeah, I don't know. A lot of respect to them. Stay safe and be careful to them and everybody else, because like you just never know what you're going into when you get in that car and go somewhere. You just never know where you're going to, so or what you're gonna encounter. So just be careful. Stay safe. If you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to like it. Be sure to comment down below any thoughts you guys had, any other Mr. Numbers you guys want me to watch, any other channels you guys want me to watch. Any suggestions you have, preferably shorter videos, not over 20 minutes long. Even 20 minutes is a little bit something, but yeah, if you guys have suggestions, try to keep it under 20 minutes. And yeah, that's really it. I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Deuces.